Miss Granby's test was even tougher than you thought it would be, and it seemed to you that you didn't stand a chance of passing the test. Didn't stand a chance of passing the test. Didn't stand a chance of passing the test.
Testing. The word alone instills fear into the hearts of most. But like it or not, testing isn't only part of college, it's part of life. And as seemingly devastating as some tests can feel, just think about where we'd be without them. But I have a feeling not everyone appreciates the good that testing does. So what's the first word that comes to mind when you think about testing?
Stress, nervousness,
sleepless nights, fear,
anxiety,
unnecessary.
I think students just need to change the way they think about testing. To talk more about it, I met up with testing guru Rob Franek of the Princeton Review. So you teach students how to take tests for a living, correct?
Yeah, the Princeton Review is in the business of helping students take exams and preparing very specifically for the SAT, ACT, any standardized test, as well as helping them tutor.
Now, how important do you think the students' attitude towards testing is, and can students change the way they feel about testing?
I think that students can change the way they feel about testing by just knowing about what tests will question you on. I mean, I think that the angst and the fear around testing is not actually the substantive stuff that you're answering on the questions, but the fear involved with testing. You know, good studying skills, taking the time to read all the material, being thoughtful about the things that you're going to be tested on. Those things, students will go in with a much more confident outlook than a kid that's really scared walking into a classroom.
What are some of the biggest mistakes students make when preparing for tests?
One, I think not reading all of the materials that you're going to be tested on. Two, not accessing your teachers or your professors. Wherever you are in your academic life, you need those folks to direct you very specifically about what you're likely to be tested on.
So it's okay to ask your teacher, what do I need to know for this test?
Yeah.
What's going to be on the test?
Yeah, of course. Students should be unafraid and unapologetic about reaching out to their faculty members, their college professor, whoever it happens to be, and asking them what are they going to be tested on and what can they prepare to do well in that exam.
We're seeing that a lot of students wait till the last minute to study for a test. Does cramming actually work?
It's a great question, and cramming never works. I mean, I think that there's going to be some retention that you can get from cramming, and we all know we've all done it. So don't beat yourself up over cramming. But there's a much more logical and frankly better way to go about studying for an exam.
You mentioned before test anxiety. A lot of students suffer from test anxiety. What advice would you give to those of us who buckle under the pressure?
One is that you should know that you're not alone if you're buckling under the pressure of test anxiety. What you can do is prepare a little bit each week so that when the exam time comes around, you're going to be a much more prepared person and frankly much more confident going in that exam.
So confidence, you think is the best cure for test anxiety?
Confidence is absolutely key. Even though students might not always perform well in a testing environment, and I think so many of us are probably the same way. You can go in fairly confident doing all of your work, but sometimes that testing environment, you're just going to get thrown off by one question. Have some confidence in what you've done. Make sure you take a breath, pat yourself on the back and say, this is only one exam. Think of all the connections that you made with your faculty members, other papers that you've done, other exams that you've taken. Remember, your grades are not going to be just focused on one exam. So think about it again and sort of that breadth of information, that time that you've spent in the classroom, and then of course exam time, and relax a little bit.
How do you know when you're ready for a test? I mean, how can you tell that you've studied enough?
Yeah, I think that the best and most accurate picture you can draw for yourself is testing yourself. You know, having your friends test you or whoever it is, but testing yourself on things that you think are going to be on the exam and quizzing yourself is going to keep you sharp. Again, going to build up that confidence level, and I know it'll pay off in exam time.
Well,
okay.
Thanks so much for speaking with us today.
Yeah.
See, it's simple. If you want to become a better test taker, just remember a few key things. First, talk to your professors. Figure out exactly what's going to be on the test. That's what they're there for. Second, don't cram. Cramming never works. You got to pace yourself and give yourself plenty of time to learn that material beforehand. Third, be prepared. Test yourself. Meet up with a study partner, make up your own test, whatever you have to do to make sure you're going to be confident when you walk into that testing room. Confidence is the key to success. I'm Matt, and you're watching Focus TV.